Hey there, happy Monday everyone. Thank you for joining Monday, September 11, 2023. Thank you very much for joining this pre-market preparation live. I'm Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com here. How was everybody's weekend so far? How was your weekend? Let me know. What are the stocks that you are watching? Good morning, Micha. Hello, LA. Say hi to LA. Hi, Mo. Hi, Amit. Hi, Ophir. Thank you very much for joining this live, taking the time and joining me. And we are starting another trading week. Are you ready? What was your preparation during the weekend for this coming week? What are your weekend preparations, weekend routine? Hi, AZ. Thank you very much for joining this live. My name is Tamir, for those who don't know, Fibonacci-Traders.com. I'm a 7 years full-time trader. Hi, Amir. Thank you very much for joining. 7 years, almost 7 years. In November it will be 7 years full-time trader for my own living. I'm doing pretty well. First 2 years was rough, as usual. The journey to become a consistent successful trader is not easy. So if you find anyone on social media that tells you otherwise, that you can do it in 1 or 2 hours each and every day and make thousands and thousands of percents, forget it. I will be the first one to tell you the truth. If you want to become a successful trader, put in the work. Hi, Iran. Hi, AZ. Hi, Avi. Hi, Mo. My second year as well. No, this is my 7th year. My first 2 years were pretty rough. So, what are we going to talk about? Let's make a quick review on SPY and Friends for those who missed the weekly market review. SPY and the daily. Looks like we are going gap up towards the 449 gap. And once we will close the gap, 445 will become our support. QQQ, no gaps to the upside. 372 needs to hold. 375 is the next resistance. Above it, we're heading towards this purple trend line. I will do it fast. So, first, because you have the weekly market review video. Second, we want more time to go over some stocks to watch for the coming week, and if we will have some time, we'll take some requests. Dow Jones, higher lows, lower highs. This purple trend line will become a very tough resistance if you're planning to go long on the Dow, only above this purple trend line. IWM, 185 now from support to resistance, 182 to the downside needs to hold. Otherwise, we are heading towards this gap at the 176. I will jump over Bitcoin and Ethereum because nothing interesting there. KRE closed the gap. Another perfect example of why we always look where is the next gap, to the upside or to the downside. It doesn't matter. More than 80-85% of all gaps will get filled throughout time. KRE now 4280 is a support. We are looking to go long only above this purple trend line. And of course, everything you see on my channel is for educational purposes only. Never follow blindly anyone on social media. And it doesn't matter how many subscribers or followers or how big their WhatsApp group or Facebook group. Always do your own due diligence. You can follow to get ideas, but in the end of the day, it's your money. Take care of your money because no one else will take care of it for you. Oil, 5th day in a row between the 88 and the 85.70 to the downside, breaking above this one, and we are heading towards the 95.50. SOXX, good morning, Leah. Thank you very much for joining. SOXX, as we can see, 2 consecutive dojis. We have this trend line to the downside. It needs to hold the support because if we look left, it was support since April of 2023. We might get some kind of retracement, touch this, and then bounce back towards the 502. But As you know, we always need to prepare for both sides. Once this trend line will get broken to the downside, 2 or 3 days below this trend line, below the 485, and we are heading towards the 471, below it, you know it. We have 461 gap to the downside. Apple, last week, not a week to remember for Apple long trades, investors, but on the positive side, 172 keeps holding as support. All this area, 170, 172 is a very important level of support for Apple. Pre-market looks like going to this gap at the 181. If you're not long yet on Apple, I would wait. Nvidia, with all the noise, still above 451, still below the 462, long continuation above 462, retracement towards the 436 area. This gap will get filled. Tesla, pre-market for now going 6% to the upside. Looks like gap to the upside towards the 262. If you follow me on Twitter and you saw all the previous videos in the past few weeks or so, you know all these levels. They're the same levels as we drew them few weeks back, and now 262. This purple trend line needs to get retested as support because it was a very tough resistance, and a gap at the 275 looks like it's going to open a gap at the 275. Take under consideration it will get filled, but we have also the 289 and the 217. Let me know in the chat, what do you think, where Tesla is going? This gap to the upside or this gap to the downside before the end of 2023? Which gap will get filled first? Meta, sideways move, 293 support, 305 resistance, short below 293, long continuation above 305. Follow price, use levels and trend lines as your risk management and as your roadmap for future price action. And do you remember we talked about the 63 area for Shopify? Now, let's see if this 63 can hold. It broke below last Friday, now gapping above it. Another day or two below this one, and this gap 60 will get filled. Let me just adjust my window so I can see the chat. AMD, nothing much. But on the positive side, we have trend line. This is why we use trend lines and Fibonacci levels. No other indicators are truly needed. This trend line is holding the higher lows since October 2022. And as you can see in the past week or two, still holding. If we are looking to go long on AMD, I would wait for 2 or 3 days above this red channel. Microsoft, finally breaking above the 331, 332, look left. Very important level of support and resistance. Now let's see continuation toward the 338. Above it, we have all the levels to the upside. Amazon, looking good. Let's see where Amazon is heading. We have Fibonacci, swing low, swing high. Now we had this retracement, bounce, 618, holding as resistance, the 138, 139 area. Above it, 140. Google, still inside this, if you want, rising wedge, but it's rising until proven otherwise. Now let's see continuation towards the 138 together with this purple trend line that's holding for now as resistance for the higher highs. And we have this purple trend line to the downside that's holding the higher lows. So higher highs, higher lows. It's the definition for an uptrend. Netflix stuck between the 438, 438.90 and the 450. Long continuation above 450 towards this gap. Closing below 439 and we are heading towards 428 and we have this trend line to the downside. Now let's check. We have, this is my main screen, as you all know. I always watch this screen. US 500 represents the future. So we have the 15 minutes, the 4 hours. Here we have SPY 15 and SPY 65. Why 65? Because 6 candle of 65, 6 candle of 65 give me a full day candle. Now, you all know this purple trend line on the 4-hour chart. Always zoom out and zoom in to get a better point of view of price action. This purple trend line is holding. Nice bounce last Friday. Now we had downtrend bounce towards the 50% retracement. Now let's see continuation. Above it, we are heading towards 44.94. Above it, with high probability, we are heading towards the 4,500 once again. Let's check the cues. First, let's check the crude oil. 4 hours. We have a trend line that's for now holding barely. Let's see the next candle closing above this trend line, above the 87.40, this 87.95, 88, always round up, is a very tough resistance. Eventually, if price will fail to break, bulls will give up and then heading back to the 86, below it, all this area here, 85 area. Qs, we have Qs 65 holding trend line. Now let's see continuation above this 375. Above it, we are heading 376.20 and then 379. No need Fibonacci, no need nothing. Just train your eyes to look left and identify potential support and resistance for price action. You can take Fibonacci, swing high, swing low, or swing low, swing high. It doesn't really matter because Fibonacci is not an indicator. It's purely calculator for support and resistance area for future price action according to the trend that the time frame that you are trading. This trend line is not relevant anymore. So we are looking to see if 374 will hold. We have an opening gap, which will get filled, in my opinion. If not today, so tomorrow. QQQ on the 15 minutes, we have this trend line. Now we can take Fibonacci on the 15 minutes. Swing low, swing high, and that's it. Next, 376.56, and then 378, 379 to the upside. So if you still did not hit the like, subscribe. This just take 1 second. It takes 1 second, and it will mean the world for me. Now, before we take any other questions, we have the Fibonacci Academy playlist, 25 videos, free on how to become a better trader each and every day. We also have the Discord. If you want to become a premium member, we have a monthly program, and we have also free content, swing ideas, chart requests weekend, premium room, and exclusive requests are for gold and premium members. We also have free, of course, because we have the Fibonacci. We have the Fibonacci Multiverse Fibonacci Traders new newsletter every weekend, every Saturday morning, Friday after the closing bell. Fibonacci newsletter on how to become a better trader on the psychology side, the psychology behind trading. And of course, we have the one-on-one live mentorship available in English and Hebrew. And we have the online program, same program, but pre-recorded, 6 hours, 49 lessons or so, pre-recorded, available in English, and from today, also in Hebrew. So check the links in the description below. For more information, you're more than welcome to contact me on Discord or on Twitter. Let's check let's check the Hi, Offer. Good morning. Mo, I watched the weekly stocks video and you mentioned FNTC, but there is no volume in these options. How many contracts? I don't. FNTC. I don't have an FNTC. These are, we have AGL, we have ARC, we have DKNG, STNE, short, below the 1111. We have a double top, multi-top scenario of the 1420, short below it, but I don't trade options or contracts. What else? NTRA. What is NTRA? For offer. NTRA, what's the volume here? Nice volume. Weekly. We're going to the downside. As it looks, we have this trend line, long-term trend line, since March of 2022. But for now, it looks like it's going down. As you can see, next support. We have a gap over here at the 44.72. Looks like it's going down. If you are long already, use the levels and ATR as your risk management. If you're not long yet, I would wait, because this is not, in my opinion, not the time to go long. What else do we have? MGM from Ido. MGM looks like a double bottom scenario of all this area, the 42 area, looking good. Long above 44.74. We can take also Fibonacci, swing low, swing high. There you have it. Above 45.10, which is also the 50% retracement. Only then. And of course, it's my opinion. What else do we have? Availble, thank you very much for joining. Hood for bar. Hood, looking good above this. Holding above this trend line, purple trend line. Long continuation above 11. And then you have all the levels to the upside. You can also take from here. It doesn't really matter. It's only about how and what trend you are trading. Long continuation, in my opinion, only above 11, and then 11.36, above 11.80, and we are heading towards this gap over here with a slight touch at the 12.40. Don't forget, once a gap is filled, and it doesn't matter on which time frame, you will get some kind of a retracement, whether it's to the downside if the gap is up, or a bounce to the upside if the gap is down. What else do we have? Baba. I cannot tell you if it's a good entry point. I can only tell you my opinion. Pre-mark, overall, Baba looking not good. We had this trend line. Pre-market looks like it's going to break it. So if you want to go long on Baba, I would wait. No long for now. 86 needs to hold, 86.75. Below it, 83.1. Long, only above 92.30. And again, only my opinion. AMD, we just talked about AMD bar few minutes ago on the daily recap. So once this live is over, you're more than welcome to scroll back and check it out. FI. Offer, I will come back to it if we will have time. More people have more questions. ALGN. Let's check the weekly. Going down, we have multi-top over this area of the 370, 374. All this area, very tough resistance. Now we can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high. You can take it over here, over here. Let's go back to the daily. Now, this gap got filled. 329.80 needs to hold. Otherwise, we are heading towards the all these levels to the downside. We have also a slight gap over here at the 12. So below 329, we're heading towards this gap with a slight touch at the 618 retracement, which is the 307. What else? AFRM. AFRM basically in the past week or so, nothing much. As you can see, doji after doji, bouncing between the 2070 and the 2260. Now, pre-market looks like gap to the upside. This purple trend line, you need to take under consideration that this purple trend line will become a very tough resistance because it's a resistance for the higher highs since February earlier this year. If you're long already, use Fibonacci to the downside, all these levels to the downside together with ATR. If you're not sure how to use ATR, go back, Fibonacci Academy playlist. I have a special video on how to use ATR for the best risk management, aka stop loss. What else? FTNT, looking good. We are long on FTNT from, if you follow me on Twitter, you saw it. Also our Discord members saw it. We are long since 60-80, more or less, because we identified a double bottom scenario towards this gap over here. Now, 63 to the downside is the support. Above 65, we're heading 67-70, and then towards this gap to the upside. PDD for Leah. Let's see what PDD brought us. We have a super gap to the downside at 81. Let's mark it like this. Let's mark the upper border of the gap like this. Now we also have slight gap over here at the 99. If you are long, this should be your stop loss. If you're not long yet, I would wait above above 100, above this gap. And then you have trend lines. Over here, you have trend line. Over here, and there you have it. Trend lines shows us the road. You can see a road. Channel to the upside. But very risky now, in my opinion. And it's a Chinese name, if I'm not mistaken. So be careful with this name. Two gaps to the one major gap to the downside, one major gap, one gap to the upside. What else? XOP. Broke above this downtrend channel, retracement, now going to the upside. And if crude oil will continue to the upside, let's see where it might take us. We can do it like here. 150 needs to hold. Long continuation above 154.40. Same thing, if you want PDD short, in my opinion, below 89 towards the purple trend line with this gap. What else? Any questions? Any more requests? Take 1 second, hit the like, subscribe, share with friends. Check the links in the description below if you want to take your trading journey to the highest level. Start with the Fibonacci Academy playlist. Subscribe free for the Fibonacci newsletter. And of course, we have the courses available in English and in Hebrew. We have special discounts. Check it out. Check the links in the description below. Let's see what the futures are doing. Looks like futures are struggling, not surprising, struggling with the 50% retracement, 44.81. Above it, we are heading towards the 44.94. Hi Aaron, thank you very much for joining. Please, if you can, write everything in English so because this is an English speaking channel and we have viewers from all around the world. It will be much appreciated. Why is the stock market opening green? Why not? It can open green, can open red. The stock market is an entity by itself. Just follow it. Don't follow the news. News are noise. In the end of the day, the stock market gives price whatever they want, whatever it wants. Embrace. Stock market is an entity by itself. Any other questions? Any other requests? Hi Didi, thank you very much. Just in time, because we are heading, if you have one last question before we end up this live and preparing for another week trading. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, hit the like, subscribe, share with friends. It takes 1 second and it will be much great help for me. Until next video, trade safe.